Welcome back. Triple world champion Jack Brabham retired from Grand Prix racing in 1970, having played a vital role in shaping the future of the sport. But Brabham's legacy has continued on with sons Jeff, Gary and David, as well as grandson Matthew, each making their mark on world motorsport. In the final instalment of our three-part exclusive, Sir Jack gives us his view on modern Formula One, Australians Mark Webber and Daniel Ricciardo, and a lifetime of staggering achievements.
8 years after retiring, triple world champion Jack Brabham became the first post-war racing driver to be knighted. In the same year of 1978, thousands lined the Sandown circuit in Melbourne as Brabham was joined by five-time world champion Juan Manuel Fangio for a demonstration.
Between them, they share 8 world championships. 2 unique men, and Jack Brabham, who is certainly the greatest Australian racing driver ever produced.
The knighthood followed on from already receiving an OBE and being named 1966 Australian of the Year. But it was an honour given in 2012 that for Sir Jack rates as #1 amongst many.
The living treasure was a great honour, actually, and to be recognised by them and be named as a living treasure, I think was the biggest thrill I had. It was fantastic.
And well should the accolades continue, for Brabham's legacy has never left Formula One. The team bearing his name claimed their final titles with Brazilian Nelson Piquet in 1981 and 83.
But the eyes of the world were on the new 1983 World Driving Champion, driving, of course, Parmalat Brabham.
Sitting only behind Ferrari, McLaren, Williams and Lotus for total Grand Prix victories, the outfit carried on their founder's legacy of innovation. The 1978 fan car is still revered for its brilliant, although short-lived exploitation of aerodynamic regulations. 4 years after its dominant one-race appearance, the team introduced refuelling to contemporary Grand Prix racing.
There is the fuel going in, and you can see that the mechanics have all got fireproof suits on. Don't panic, the road mechanics do an excellent job. The
team folded in 1992, but even despite Brabham not having direct involvement with the outfit beyond his own retirement, admirers the world over continue to express their gratitude.
I get a lot of fan mail. The fan mail keeps coming, and it's surprising how many arrive at my place from Germany and Austria and France and all these places. Virtually nothing from Australia. Wouldn't be 5% come from Australia.
That lack of acknowledgement within Australia is a sad reflection, especially considering Brabham gave the country 2 more Formula One drivers in sons Gary and David. The latter claimed victory in the Le Mans 24-hour of 2009, following eldest son Jeff's success 16 years prior.
Jeffrey Brabham of Australia with his 2 co-drivers. There's Sir Jack. What a moment for him.
Well, it wasn't my idea. They come up with the idea themselves, although I didn't like it. Once they proved themselves that they knew what they were doing, I felt a lot easier. All 3 of them done extremely well. And now we've got a 3rd generation come along. He looks like he's going to do well too.
The pedigree of the bloodline unquestionable, with Jeff's son Matthew claiming the 2012 Formula 2000 championship in the US.
He's got determination, and I think he's got the ability, so let's wait and see.
3 generations of one family have never competed in Formula One, and the biggest hurdle to Matthew's success clearly isn't talent, but a lack of necessary corporate support, making the transatlantic move difficult.
Well, if he got into Formula One, that'd be fantastic. He really needs to be racing in Europe, but we couldn't raise the money to get him into the European side.
It's always been a long road for Australians to reach Formula One.
I think it's important we always have somebody there. Today even we've got Mark Webber and we've got Daniel Ricciardo. There's still a possibility of us coming good in the future.
Brabham is frank in his assessment that Mark Webber's only shot of a world title is now behind him.
Well, unfortunately, you can't quite keep up with some of them. Vettel's probably the top guy at the moment. There's one driver that seems to be able to keep in front of Mark.
And it all comes back to one moment late in 2010.
Webber has gone crashing into the wall. The championship leader is not going to finish.
Mark should have won the championship that year. He was hands in front, and unfortunately at Korea, the meeting was very wet, and he didn't finish the race.
However, Webber's decision to remain alongside Sebastian Vettel in 2013 was one met with approval from another Australian who rejected the advances of the prancing horse.
When I won at Rings in '60 and beat the Ferraris on the track, they said you couldn't beat them on. That got me the invitation. And Enzo Ferrari wanted me to go over and talk to him about it. And I never went, because my aim was to beat Ferrari, not join them. And I had a lot more thrill racing and beating them.
Should the same opportunity present itself to Daniel Ricciardo, the West Australian with Italian heritage may find similar refusal impossible. And Brabham believes such interest from top teams is inevitable for our latest prospect.
Now I think his chances are certainly the best we've got from Australia's point of view. He's got the opportunity, but it's going to take him a bit of time. He's not going to suddenly jump up in the lead in the Formula One today. But give him time, he'll get there in the end.
The current Formula One grid features 6 world champions, eclipsing the previous record of 5 in 1968, which included Brabham himself. Having either raced alongside or witnessed all 32 title winners, he believes in stating the greatest of all, the numbers don't lie.
Michael Schumacher wins and becomes the most successful Grand Prix driver of all time.
If we win on results, it's got to be Schumacher. Schumacher done a fantastic job over the era of the race. I reckon that's the man you've got to say. He's done the best job.
Not that such praise means the 7-time world champion is destined to succeed in his second coming.
I don't think he's serious. He's not serious about it anymore, like he was in the old days. When he was winning all the races, that's really what he was living for. Today he just hasn't got that drive to do it.
It's often far too easy for pure racers of generations past to view the sport through rose-tinted glasses, but Brabham is in many ways envious of the current breed.
Today, there's so many races in so many different places around the world. It'd be nice to be a driver getting the opportunity to go around and see it all. And the improvement in the circuits has been a big thing towards the safety of what's happening there. You don't see drivers getting killed every week. But the cars are extremely reliable. You don't see them break down anymore. The formula, as a formula, can't be too bad because it's even the field out. The field's actually pretty even.
Despite competing against revered names such as Fangio, Clark, Hill, Surtees and Stewart, the man who Brabham considers his greatest rival never actually won the title.
Definitely Sterling Moss. Sterling Moss was a great driver in his day. Probably the toughest driver I used to drive again. I learned a lot from Sterling Moss.
It's Moss first, Brabham second.
Moss, of course, is a legend.
But a legend greater than our own member of Grand Prix racing's highest echelon has simply never lived.
I think the 60s era was the best. I really do. It was dangerous, but I was able to win quite a few races in the 60s, and it was really, I suppose, my best time of my life. I suppose when you look at it, I haven't done bad, have I?
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. What an Australian icon and a sporting legend. Great work there from reporter Richard Bayliss. Now thanks go out to Patrick Wetters and everyone at the Motorsport Shop for making our exclusive possible. All right, stay with us. Coming up.